1, 2, 3, 4 years completed, but time just will not stop. In terms of quests released per year, this one sits at the top. 23 full years of questing, Caves of Bank must stay alive. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2005. Welcome back to October 17th, 2005. Getting right into it today with the second quest released on this date. And what a doozy it will be. It is Mourning's End, Part 2. Much like with Mourning's End Part 1, the name has slightly changed. Originally it was Mourning's End Part 2, with 2 being the number 2. Then later on it was Mourning's End Part 2, 2 in Roman numerals. And now it is Mourning's End Part 2 in Roman numerals. No. Basically the same thing. There's been a few changes to quest names over the years. Mostly from really older quests in Classic, but there we go. Requirements. Mourning's End Part 1. No surprise there. Part 2 comes after Part 1. For sure. Required items. Full set of mourner gear. A rope. 50 assorted items. Or access to the death altar. Slight spoilers on that. And also a chisel, because we don't have a tool belt yet. We got everything we need to get started on the first part of this. And that is the mourner gear. Had to get that for Mourning's End Part 1. Now we need to get it back again, because we couldn't store it in a bank or anything. So we need 2 silk, bear fur, bucket of water, Tegid soap to get the full set going. This quest is going to be very, very inventory and gear space dependent. So we're going to start by making some room. Alcheming some stuff. Like the rune pickaxe, and the mystic, and the amulet. Not going to help us where we're going. We can always just buy mystic and stuff back. It's not a huge deal. Shouldn't be much of a concern. We like to keep the equipment we use easily reobtainable, because of all the times we need to get rid of it. Especially later. We need to go to Entrana and Xanaris and all that. It's a problem. But we still need some combat stuff, which is more compact, uses less spaces. So instead of magic and needing to bring the runes with us, we're going to go for a dragon mace. Very functional, very smacky. Unfortunately, only a one-handed weapon, so we're losing a bit of damage. Still tier 60. Working with what we can here with the whole evolution of combat business. That should get the job done here. And the job begins over in Ardar, because we need to get the mourner gear back. So let's head over that way. Just gotta bonk this mourner over the head here. Our accuracy is not great, since they are weak to magic. But it's definitely good enough. Let's see if we could send out some special attacks. It's always a good time. Bonk. Don't mind me. I'm not doing anything. And down it goes. I'm going to take lots of his stuff here. Put on most of it. Parts that aren't broken or anything. Get the jacket and the legs. Clean the bloodstains with the soap. There we go. We don't need that. Don't need that. So just need to go repair the trousers and we'll be good. So for that we need to go to Leia. But we need to go there anyways, so this all works out. Oronwin, how's it going? Could you fix my pants again? That's here, I'll get started. In like a minute, I'll have them done. Perfect. The amount of times we're going to bring pants back here. I think this might be the last time After this, things change, it should be alright. Anyways, while she works on our pants, we're going to do something else here in Leia. We need to get a crystal. For whatever reason, nobody, like, sells the teleport crystals, so you need to get them via murder. Crystal teleport seed. There you go. And we also need to get this to have charges. So, we will be back here. Just need to leave the city, go find Elened. Should be down this way. And if not, we just need to wait a little bit. Yeah. Crystal teleport seed to come back here without having to run from Ardoin, which is quite the distance. As much as we're trying to conserve as many inventory spaces as physically possible, we do also kind of need to... They're not here? Fire's here. We do need to have a way to get back here easily. So, that's okay. Like the new bears, they're new. Okay. Well, we need to get Elened here. They'll be here, eventually. Sometimes waiting around just works. Elened! How's it going? Hello. Hello again. How's it going? How is it going indeed? Not bad, thanks. Sand, you agreed to help us. This is wonderful news. You need to re-enchant your crystal teleport seeds? Yes, please. And 8 charges for 2,000 coins. Those are not the right numbers, but close enough. And that is a achievement. Brilliant. Anyways. Should have been like 3 for 750 or 450 or whatever. Close enough. Close enough. It's not difficult to go and get it recharged again, so not gonna really worry about that. Let's get our pants here. Have your trousers ready. And the more trousers, good as new. Thanks a lot. Anytime. Lovely. There we go. Full mourner gear. Now we still need to get the rope and the chisel, but that's easily doable. But first, we need to go talk to Ironman. Technically, like the quest says here, it starts at the Mourner HQ in West Ardoin, but we have to do that after we talk to Ironman here. So it's like a in-between the steps step or something. How goes it, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic? I think I got the information you're after. Seems they're searching for an ancient temple of some sort under the mountains. Dear Saren, no. They have rediscovered the Temple of Light? I don't think they've found this temple yet, but they know it's down there. You must stop them at all costs. If they harness the power secured in that temple, they'll be able to start the end game before we can be ready. What do you expect me to do about it? Whatever you can. We cannot allow that power to fall into their hands. Right then, I'm on it. As soon as I get a key to the excavation site, I should check in with the head mourner. Yeah, they were getting the keys duplicated, recut and all that. So we need to get a key. We also need to get a chisel and a rope. I think that's in the adventuring store here in Ardoin. Seems like things they would have. It's an adventuring store. You would think they would have things. We could also consider, we don't really need these other runes right now. Inventory space. It's a whole thing. So we need a rope and a chisel. Those will take up space. Trade here. Rope, yes. Chisel, no. Darn. Well, I guess we need these runes then. So we're going to go to another general store. All these different stores and all their different things. Varrock should have one. We could keep the air runes around, which would allow us Valador teleports. Not super necessary. Or we could consider when we need to drop the runes. Just makes things easier if we just get rid of them. And technically, could have used more of the air runes to actually cast some spells, get some magic XP. But that's okay. We're going to be going between Ardoin and Letya here. So, these are pretty much what we need. And in reality, we might not need all these sharks. We'll see how things go. But for the time being, having at least some food available is a smart plan. We will see how effectively we can get through things later. But we need to go to the head mourner over here. West Ardoyne, still just an absolute disaster. But we're working on it. We're making things worse, dependingly. Non-regulation gear, just the mace. And this is why we had gotten rid of all the mystic and everything. Inventory space. We need to come in here. And if we had the mystic, that would still be taking up the inventory slots. So that'd be no good. Head mourner. How's it going? Do you have the key to the excavation site yet? The guard has finally returned. Seems it took him so long because he had 10 times as many cuts as we needed. That's useful. I'm always losing keys. Well, I have plenty now. So, you mentioned a task you had for me? Something to do with a temple? That is right. We've been excavating for some time now, digging far under the mountains in search of an ancient temple, as I said before. That's right. You said something about an altar that will give us access to some very powerful magic. Indeed it will, once we find it. Accept quest. Mourning's End Part 2. So, how do you want me to help? One of our dig teams has recently gone missing. I need you to find out what happened to them. Sounds easy enough. You say that now, but it seems our digging disturbed some of the beasts that dwell in the deep crevices under the mountain. We've tried, but we are unable to damage the creatures. It seems we need some sort of beast slayer to help kill them. It's never easy. Pardon? What was that? Nothing, sir. I'll get to it. Here, you'll need this. Hemmoner hands you a newly cut key. Thanks, sir, I think. Good luck. Alright. Key. It's a key item. It's an item key. Open the door. Brilliant stuff. So now we're in the mines. We got mourners overlooking the slaves mining stuff, tunneling in places. And they're having, like I said, problems with the beasts that they got released from their various chambers. Dark beasts. Very, very powerful. Or at least relatively powerful. But mostly difficult to hurt. Because these guys are level 90 Slayer, and we are level 65. So, that's not going to do it. Their claim to fame is the Dark Bow. A very large bow, fires 2 arrows at the same time, incredibly slow, has a special attack that does minimum damage, so you can always guarantee hits. It's a whole thing. But since we don't have 90 Slayer at all, we're not really going to worry about it. Heading further in, we come across, looks like the dig team, sure you can tell Arianwin, and make sure the head mourner doesn't find out. The dig team that was lost, they're dead. And here is shadows. Got little shadows all over the place. These guys are not doing great. The man died with nothing. Shadows. Only have 50% accuracy. That's not ideal. Again, magic would be better, but then we would have more things. So, search the guards. Find a color wheel and a journal. Let's run back here so we don't get attacked by shadows. Don't need that right now. Color wheel. Key to the nature of light itself. Very good. And Edern's journal. Presumably that is Edern there. See if we can glean some information about what happened here. I start this new journal as I start my new life. I leave behind all that I was as I take a stand for the elven race. It is my hope that we can at last find peace with our misguided brethren and return home. To stay here is to condemn ourselves to an eternity of chaos. To this end, we must each do all that we can for the greater good. Here's 0, Day 1. The Death Guard is an old and honorable society, and so I have enrolled. I have one more day in the city before I go for training. I was speaking to my brother, Iston. He was telling me of the research he's been doing on the Undercity. He thinks he may have found the location of the old Grand Library. It is a shame his research will never amount to anything. No one will ever enter that place. The seals were placed on it over 2,000 years ago by Saren herself. He asked how my historical study of the Eastern Realms was going. I did not have the heart to tell him. I'll wait until tomorrow. Year 0, day 2. I put the last of my affairs in order. Estine begged me not to go, telling me that I should stick with my research. I think my big brother may have had his nose in a book too long. He does not see what is happening to our people. We must regain our heritage if we are to survive on this world. Besides, if I'm ever to know anything about the Eastern Realm, I should go and see the land myself. This may be the last night I spend in the home of my ancestors. Year 2, day 2, though it's been a little bit. It seems a shame to have lost 2 years from my journal, but I can understand the need for secrecy. I'm told that when the subjects covered in that portion of my journal are no longer an issue of security, the pages will be returned to me. At least, I finished training, and I'm told that my first assignment will be in a human city. I wonder what they look like. I was able to get an hour free in the city before leaving for my first post. I found Iston in the same library I had left him in 2 years ago. It was good to see him again after such time, although his research has led him to some absurd conclusions. He thinks that one of the 9 seals to the Undercity is broken, though I am sure there are too many safeguards for such to be true. I wish I had more time for him. This evening, I camp on the peaks of Arndar. Tomorrow, I report to my first day in service of the Death Guard. Year 2, day 3. The introduction to my new post was poor at best. I was not even assigned a bunk. The rest of the day was spent in a watchtower, occasionally getting attacked by pigeons. The humans are not so different as I thought they would be, although they live like animals. Year 2, day 6. I've been kept very busy by the guard duty over the last few days. This is the first chance I've had to make an entry in my journal. I have bad feelings about the work I undertake. It seems to me that any task that requires us to treat other beings as poorly as we are, treating these humans, can only come to ill. But we must each do all that we can for the greater good. Year 2, day 7. I've spent my day in the pointless exercise of chasing sheep around with a big wooden device. After wasting all the shots, I tried putting vials of dye into it. In the end, I only succeeded in breaking the device. I've been told that I will be doing paperwork all day tomorrow. Cannot do as much damage in the office, I was told. Year 2, day 8. Today was quite something. Got a promotion. Looks like those years of study paid off after all. I'm now in charge of collating all the historical data we are collecting in the excavation sites. While filing some papers, I could not help noticing lots of fragments from an old page. Putting these pieces together revealed a message. Saren's light will open the doors. Her crystal is but a filter. Seems no one else had spotted that before. Think I have earned the respect of my colleagues today. Year 2, day 10. The last 2 days, I've worked cataloging all the findings, and today a messenger turned up with a document requesting that all materials from the excavation site should be returned to Prifddinas. I wish I could join them on that journey. Hope my brother is well. There's a rumor going around of a great human who reopened the Well of Voyage. In the process of doing so, banished the crazed mage. Wonder if it has anything to do with the prophecies. Year 2, day 17. One of the slaves escaped and ran off down the southwest cavern today. He was found some hours later in a small crevice, rocking back and forth, repeating over and over, "No shadows get me." It looks like I will be the one to go look for these shadows. I just got my orders to take a team and investigate the tunnel. I am to be briefed in the morning. And then they got briefed in the morning, they went down the tunnel to investigate the shadows, and everyone died at the end. So, that's some interesting references in there. He was one that was getting attacked by all the pigeons in the tower during Plague City. He broke the device we used to color the sheep. He talked about the human opening the Well of Voyage, defeating Ivan. That was us. Our stories were intertwined, but now only we remain. So, let's get this information back to Ironman. And we can do that so easily by just teleporting to Letya. It's so good. Love it. Love it a lot. Ironman. How's it going? What's the latest news? I have found the entrance into the temple. I was asked to investigate when one of the dig crews went missing. I found them, massacred the entrance to the temple, surrounded by strange shadows. So they are one step from finding it. I was hoping I would not need to ask you this, but I need your help again. We need to restore the safeguards on the Temple of Light. Tell me about this temple. The temple was created thousands of years ago to protect an altar that dates back to a time before we walked this land. This altar has certain powers over life, and you need me to fix it. You really can be quite perceptive at times. Normally it would not matter, but the shadows are free to roam outside the temple, then the safeguards must have failed. Okay. I don't know about you, but I have no idea how to fix ancient elven technology. Luckily, our ways have stayed very much the same. Somewhere in the temple, you will find a huge crystal set in the ground. If I'm right, this crystal will be darkened somewhat. I need you to bring back a sample of that crystal. Alright then, I'll see what I can do. We need to find a crystal down in the temple. Which means, of course, we need to go to the temple. Let's drop this. Observe the color wheel, how it is. Red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, magenta. Inventory space. Inventory space. So let's get back to the temple. Right, teleport to our doorway and walk in there. It's alright. Okay. Into the Temple of Light. Shadows to deal with. We can just run away. Should be alright. There's the crystal we need to get. Is not on this floor though. Temple of Light. All we need to worry about right now is getting through here, getting to the top, and getting to the dark section. All these other directions and pedestals and everything and traps, don't need to worry about any of that. All we need to do is run. Run over here. Here's the crystal we're looking for. Yeah, 3 different floors, all sorts of wackiness. Chip this off with the chisel. Chop one of the many blackened crystal shards that are here. There you go, 1 blackened crystal. Brilliant stuff. And we need to bring this back. Once again, this is why we got the crystal teleport scene. And now we've used 3 charges. We would go and recharge it for another couple hundred coins. We already spent that money on the previous. All we need to do now is talk to Ironman again. Hey there. What's the latest news? I found the entrance of the temple to investigate. The crews went missing. Found them. Massacred the entrance of the temple. Surrounded the shadows. Blackened crystal. There you go. Nope. Skip. 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 Tell me about the temple. We already did that. Fix it. Get the crystal. Bring back a sample of that crystal. Like this one? Show the blackened crystal to Ironman. Yes. Just like that one. Where did you get it? I found it on the top floor of the temple. Good. With this sample, a good crystal chanter should be able to make a replacement. Just a second, I will summon Elined. Thank you for responding to my summons, Elined. Anytime, Ironman. How can I help? Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic here has an old crystal shard. We need you to make a replacement for it. Alright, hand it here and I shall take a look. Here's the crystal. Or when you talk to her, that's fine. And then crystal here, look at it, copy, use the crystal. Didn't work the first time, works this time, sure. You can eliminate the blackened crystal shard. Now let me see, this may take a few seconds. How's the crystal coming along? You done with it yet? Yes, it's ready. Now, here. It's a newly formed crystal. Thanks. No problem. Ironman will tell you what you should do with it. I better get going. See you around. So, no opportunity to have her recharge your crystal if you wanted it to. So, there you go. I have the new crystal. Now what am I meant to do with it? You will need to first take the newly formed crystal to the end of the temple and place it on the old altar. This will imbue the crystal with the power it needs to safeguard the temple. This is starting to sound hard. It should be quite simple. Once you have powered up the newly formed crystal, you'll need to return to where you found the darkened crystal and place the new shard with the others. This should restore the safeguards. And that's it. Yes, that is all. Right then, I'll get to it. Another item in the pile of things we're bringing with us. Back to the temple again. This time, to actually do things. Okay. Now we just need to put the crystal on the altar at the end. Should be easy, right? Obviously no. This has steps. Here we can see a pillar of light shoot in a light beam over to another pillar of light. That's great. That's great. It's a light puzzle. And not only is it a light puzzle, it's a 3D light puzzle. And not only is it a 3D light puzzle, it is a 3D light puzzle with color changing, sections you can't get to, and doors that need to be opened to make the puzzle even more complicated. It is wild out here. Also, while you're trying to do this puzzle, you're constantly attacked by shadows. If it's any consolation, the shadows are weaker than they originally were. Their max hit is about 1/5 of what it used to be. A solid strategy would be to bring some prayer gear and protect from melee basically the entire time. But since that would only deflect half the damage now, it's not quite as effective. It's technically still an option though. We can use it a little bit when we need to try to preserve some food. And now, inventory space. We can drop the chisel, don't need that anymore. Go get the rope placed where it needs to be, that'll be fine. But for the actual puzzle portion of the puzzle, many a guide have been written. After doing the puzzle with guides the first few times, I went through the entire area here to try to figure out how it all works. And it works pretty well. There are many different pillars with things inside them, which stops you from just being able to move it the way you want to all the time. Some with colors, some with directions. Some of the pillars are broken so you can't even use them. Once you get all the information, it's a little clearer what options you really have. And the ultimate goal of opening various light doors with the amount of pieces you have available does kind of narrow down your options. So let's get started. We've got a crystal collector right here. You can pull the lever to collect all the stuff and collect items. Collect, take all. Mirrors and crystals. Very good. This is a multi-step process, unsurprisingly. This guy come in here. Alright. Use the mirror in the pillar, and then it bounces the light. You can rotate it, you can go different directions. But look at the light here. I think there used to be some blockage here since the light stops. You can go that way, you can go that way. And each pillar also only has a certain number of directions it can rotate to. So there is a lot of limitations, which in some ways makes it more difficult to get things where you want them. In some other ways, gives you the number of choices you really have. This can go up, can go that way, which is the correct way. Get attacked by shadows. A little bit of skirting around the sides here. Get attacked by shadows. Can't have the rotation and fighting the shadows at the same time. That'd be too easy. We're just moving this around to the directions we can. Yellow, right here. We're just running, we don't need to worry about being attacked by the shadows. All the sharks here too. At least that. The shadow. They didn't have much health earlier either, so that's alright. We got a yellow beam, since we put a yellow there. Cross it across here. Hits the blue door. We're back to the color wheel. That's what we need to do. Opposite colors. Makes it so you can go through. And now the next very, very amusing part of this quest. The shimmying across the handrails. Originally, these were quite challenging to cross. You would fall down a lot. But in 2016, they were made much, much easier. Each individual shimmy has its own check. So any chance of failure gets compounded pretty extensively. Trying to go across all of them. 70 agility is pretty good, so we shouldn't have too many problems, hopefully. Originally it was much worse. You could be here, especially with minimum of like 56 you needed for Regicide. You could be here for like 15 minutes, half an hour, trying to cross these. Brutal times. Brutal times. What we get in here? Whack a shadow. Getting tiny bits of XP. Yay. Open the chest. And we get 2 more mirrors and a cyan crystal. Brilliant stuff. So, as you get more pieces of the puzzle, with more mirrors and crystals, you can get to further away doors to open up to get more chests, to get more pieces, to do more things. It all really compounds, unsurprisingly. And we need more inventory space, so let us get more inventory space here. Climb over here and attach our rope to this rock. We got a hole you can climb down. Of course, you put a rope on it so you can climb down. The chest is in here, so we can't get in there. So that's later. We can also drop the key because we can get the key back when we have to come back through. Just getting more space here. Head back to the start and reset the puzzle. By pulling the collector here, you take everything out. In some instances, you might not want to do that if you want to keep things you've already placed where they are. But for us, right now, it is a reasonable idea. Pull it, collect it, take all the items. So we already have this many mirrors and crystals. It's pretty wild. Second step. Mirrors. Rotations. It's an entire thing here. Now, needs to go here. And then to the next spot. Since there's really only one way it can go from the start, really can just make it always go this way, pretty much. It goes through here. Then it goes to C. And we get attacked by shadow. The shadows are definitely a problem. The shadows are definitely a problem. Rotations and all this mess. No. Search it. You can take the mirrors out too, which is nice. Cyan. Also, lettered all the pillars, make it easier to find them on the map here. That I drew, because I drew the map. From C, we're here to G. Mirror. Shadow. Better than 50% accuracy would be nice. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Also, we can just run around the pillar if there's only one nearby. Well, that's not always gonna be the case, of course. So here. Then put a mirror in here. Touch around. Rotate. Rotate. So currently we've got cyan Put some yellow in it. Changes it again. Light pillar. Through here. Box. And here we don't even have a pillar to work with, so 2 more mirrors. Oh boy. Inventory's getting a little bit full here. That's alright. Yeah, we turned. It was cyan. Then we added yellow. Then it became green to hit the magenta. Well, it all works out. But let us collect again here. Time for the 3rd step. We're gonna need to get hit some more here. If we want to get everything going here. That's everything. Here's a shadow attack me. Preemptive attack. It's worth it. Mirror here. Up to this one. We just hit the shadows the first time. Works out pretty well. Rotations. Over to here. Got a lot of options in this one, which is nice. Sand here. Over to here. Sand over here so they can get to me. Yep, they got to me. They worked in a group. How very rude. Okay. And here. Rotations. Many options. There's also up and down, which I think we're about to get to here. Here is this one. And now if we look at the pillar and do the rotations, with this rotation here, it's going to hit on the backside of that and go down. So we take the ladder down. The ladder only goes up, unfortunately. Or do we want to go up? 3rd floor? Yeah. I think we want to go up. Because up is 3rd floor. 3rd floor, 2nd floor. Different naming conventions. Anyways. Now we're up here. We can't see that the light is in. Because it doesn't actually go up higher than this. That's okay. Place another mirror in here. As you can see, the light does in fact exist. Rotate the mirror to go from up to go this way. And interestingly enough, in this one in here where we can't get, there is a color. So it changes the color we're putting in. Cyan goes through, it's like green or something. Now the green is magenta or something. It's the colors of the lighter, not quite as obvious. It's very, very bright. But it gets the job done. Ah, shadow. Okay. So that's going through there. Now we need to get over to the other side here. Unfortunately, from here we can't get past. So we need to go down and around. Another challenge for the puzzle here is how all the different directions and all the different floors and getting between everything has only certain steps that are allowed. And there's also traps, which can do a little damage too. It's pretty wild out here. Pretty wild. We need to get all the way up to the corner, basically. This is a nice spot right here. We can just relax, because there's no shadows. Well, that's not what we get. Can't go up here because that's the blocked off section. And you go through this narrow section here, full of spin and blade traps. Wild stuff. Keep dodging them with our 70 agility. Even when needed. Here's a pillar. Thank you. Add a mirror. Rotate the mirror. Needs to go downwards. Like that. With that, go down. It's past the traps, past everything else. And, like, the entire northern section of this is kind of disconnected. We could technically go that way. This is fine, too. More time to not get hit by shadows and stuff, I guess. If we avoid right there where there's a trap, it's also a good plan. Some stairs here. Go to the bottom floor, potentially. So we have the right colors and everything connected here. I want to go over to the corner here. See if this is working. We got a light. It's blue there. Changes colors. Pass through light door. There we go. So blue, rotated. In here where there's a mirror. Light door. Search the pillar. Rotate. To the other side. To actually get through the actual light door we need to get through. To get to another chest. Oh boy. Yeah, this whole place. It's an entire thing. There's a trap there too. What? Open this box. Search it. 2 mirrors and a fractured crystal. Welcome to the next layer of the puzzle. Now, we have a fractured crystal. Which, like the name suggests, it is fractured. Which makes the light do different things. Specifically, split into multiple paths. So now that is also an option. We got 3-dimensional light puzzle with color changing and being attacked all the time. Now we have light beams that can go multiple directions to get to different places, to change colors again, to hit different things, to open the doors. It is wild out here. It's absolutely wild out here. Shadows coming. They don't have much health, at least. That works. Pull the lever. And now take everything here. Let's go with items. I think there's more items still in here, so we need to place a few things, or eat a few things. But we can place some stuff to start, at least. Place mirror here, rotate the mirrors, da-da-da. And of course the mirrors don't just automatically go to where you want them. That'd be too easy. That'd be too easy. Rotation to there. Yellow crystal in here. Yellow through here. Now the beam's yellow, of course. Oh, you're attacked by 2 shadows. That's not even fair. It's not multi-combat. Evolution combat. Yep. Yellow. It's up to here. And then over to here. Get attacked by more things. Definitely have enough space to go and grab stuff now, but finish this section first. Goes over to J. To here. Rotate. We can't just click rotate there. That'd be slightly easier. Goes up. Change the ladder up. Another mirror here. Rotate the mirror. Go through there. So we get back to the corner where we went to for the last one. We need to go and get the rest of the pieces first. Luckily that is kind of on the way, so that's convenient. What we need to make sure we don't do here is pull the lever to collect all the pieces. That would be not what we want. We want to collect. Take the crystal. Just the one cyan crystal. That's okay. We need to go all the way back to the top. Various ladders and stairs and such you can take. We just run past this way. Yeah. Went through that trap. Went through that trap again. And we're trying to auto-retaliate, and it's sending us back through the trap, which is not ideal. Technically could turn off auto-retaliate, but then we would not auto-retaliate. Lots of the times it does kind of work in our favor. So I'm okay with that. Alright, this time, instead of sending it down from here, We're going to send it other way. Once we deal with these guys. Special attack. Special attack. Lovely. But nice if they didn't respawn. That'd be convenient. Back down this way. Goes to here. Then to the next corner. Just all the way down the side here, basically. Another shark. If we had armor on, we would take slightly less damage, but only slightly. So from here, we need to go down. Attack by shadow. Search pillar. Rotate the mirror. From the north, hidden there, going that way. That's down. Goes to F7. That's at the bottom floor. There is a pillar in between on the middle floor that we'll eventually probably need to do things with. Once we actually get to that section of things. Interestingly, we didn't end up needing to use the fractured crystal for this part of the puzzle. Which you think we would have, since we got that from the last piece. Just a little bit of misdirection, I suppose. Either way. This is where we use the rope to get down into here. Here we can see this. And in this case, since we sent it down through the middle and there wasn't a pillar here, there's nothing we could actually do about it. But it got through here, bounced it over into this light door, where we can head in here, deal with the shadow, open the chest, and search it for a blue crystal. As we get different colors, that also gives us different options for what we can change the light color into. So that works nicely. In this situation, blue crystal. We can make things blue. Then combine them with the stuck crystals and our other crystals. We can really get some stuff going here. Don't let us try to get things going here. Looks like the special attack might, in fact, have a different accuracy. So that's nice. Pull the collector. Collect the collector. Take all items. Look at all these items we got. Step 5 has multiple steps. Very, very important that you don't mess this part up. Once again, we want to get things in places, obviously. Mirrors, and crystals, and rotations, and all sorts of good stuff. Pop the shadow. Nope. You can do it. 50%! 50% chance. Rotate to here. I'll pass this shadow to here. Nope. Rotate. 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 Good. Essentially, we are doing step 1 again right now, where I went to the first light door that we opened. But this time, instead of going for the chest in there, we're very specifically going for the pillar. Rotate, 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 rotate. We have to cross the wall supports again. Maybe just get across here. That'd be great. All the way across here, where we use our new blue crystal in this pillar. The light's not hitting it yet, but that's okay, because we are going to work on it. And now, very, very importantly, we need to collect all of our mirrors and stuff and crystals. Because if we pull the lever, it would take our blue crystal out of this pillar, and then we wouldn't have it in the pillar anymore. And that's obviously not what we need. So instead, we will take the items here very, very carefully. Take crystal. Got the yellow crystal again. Brilliant. here. Good. These ones can stay. These ones are in the right place. Has to go to here, be a mirror here. The damage we're taking is slightly concerning. Special attack. 71% accuracy. It's definitely better. Search the pillar. Rotate the mirror. This time, we want to go up, which is pretty cool. And then from there, we need to do stuff on the upper level. So let's get up there. Around here, try to avoid the trap. Go through here. We also kind of need more of the pieces eventually. Right. See if we need to collect more things. This is where the light is at now. This is where we want to put a mirror. Right here. Goes through a tiny little hole through the wall. Back to the south. I think this continues to get more and more complicated. Which it also does right here, where we split it into multiple directions. Beams coming from the north onto that fractured crystal go out in all the other directions, which is absolutely wild. From here, take a mirror, put it here, on this side, search the pillar. This one we want to go down, like that. Goes down there, all the way to the bottom. See it's going through this pillar, which already has a thing in it, so we can't change what that's doing. So carefully collect crystals here. Nothing in the tray, perfect. Let's keep going down, down and down, down around, over to here, where the green beam is now at. Send this to this way, and send this way. Rotate that way. Now we can open that door. That's not enough, because once we get in there we have another door we need to deal with. So now we go back to where we split the beams and send them more directions. Now we need to go use a different one to go a different way. So that means back to the top floor. Constantly being attacked by the shadows. So we are running out of food here. Just turn on protect from melee. Take a little bit less damage here for a little bit. So here we are, here. We go to the southern section here. Use a mirror here. Go to the sign. The protection prayer in the way does make it a little more difficult to see what we're doing with the lights, but gets the job done. Then over to here. Goes down. Got a decent amount of prayer here. I get the job done. Not that way. If that goes down. Goes to H, which is where we put the blue pillar from the first section. Then that brings down to the corner. And now we should be able to get in there. Figuring this out without guides and just trying to just do it does take a little bit of work. But with a little bit of looking around, you can figure out what your options are. You can get there. It works. We're past all these. Now we can get through this light here, through this pile of shadows. Use the mirror to open the door, to get in here, to open another chest, which has a fractured crystal and 3 mirrors. That's a lot of mirrors, because we need a lot of mirrors for this, the final step of the puzzle. we've got another fractured crystal, which allows for all the fractured crystal shenanigans we've come to expect. Let's see if we can get everything placed here. Getting a little low on food, but we might be able to get this done. Could turn off the prayer right now, but that's alright. Pull the collector, collect the collector, take all the items, got a bunch of stuff. Start putting things in. Go, go, go. Up. Then from you go down this time. Slightly different. This does have the power to go down. Currently it's going up. That's not right. Rotate to go down. Then you go downstairs to go down, obviously. It's here. Then a mirror. Goes this way. We use the new fractured crystal. Make it go that way. Fractured. Goes through another hole in the wall, which is always amazing. Over to here. Send the beam back up. Also have prayer here. Just pillar, rotate the mirror. Up. Good. Using up from the bottom to the top to have a lot of space for changing colors and putting things in the middle. It all works out. So over here, back to the very top here, or the middle, realistically. Yellow, right there. Yellow. Then it goes to the top. We use a mirror. Rotate the mirror. Go that way. Through the one that we can't get to. All the way to the corner. Then grab some more mirrors and stuff. Going back to the corner at the top again. Brilliant stuff. Collect the crystals here. Nothing in the tray. So we already got everything. That's good. Let's get everything what we need. This final step of the puzzle requires things just all over the place. It's pretty wild. Going all the directions. Hitting to get to the middle end pillar here, which has multiple different directions that lights need to hit it in order to finish things up. Which is quite a lot. It's quite a lot. From here, mirror. It's going the right way. Goes to here. Then we need to use a mirror on this one. Everything just needs mirrors. Goes over to this, which immediately goes down there. Immediately opens this door. That is the first section completed. And now, we need to go get the other sections. There's 3 different directions we need lights going at the end here. We just need to go. Need to head back to the bottom floor. Passing more traps and more everything. Only got 2 sharks left. 2 light beams we need to deal with. If we can get this done, that'd be great. The shadows definitely do plenty of damage here. With some actual, like, probably just magic armor would be the best evolution of combat business. We could definitely get more things going here. Fractured pillar here again. Over to this way. Mirror. Have this go up. Rotate up. Yep, like that. Goes through the one we can't do anything about. Gets up to the top floor. We're going back to the top floor. Running. Running. Also some more options for healing with EOC. which of course we don't have. So, where's what we got here? It should be right here. Give this a light. Oh boy. Getting attacked by a lot of shadows here. Do some special attacks for more accuracy. Special attacks for more accuracy. It's the dream. Rotate the mirror here. Goes to there, which bounces down, bounces in, hits that. That's the final pillar. Now back to the first floor again. With one shark left. Technically, we still do also have all of our health. We definitely don't want to end up with barely any health here. That's not really a good plan, particularly. One here. I get preemptive attacks. Sometimes works. Sends it up. All the way to the top floor again. Once again, going through a pillar that we can't put anything in. So it just sends it up and down. That's okay. Over to here. Dodge the trap. To this pillar. Light in here. Only goes one direction. Mirror here. Deal with these guys. If we can hit. Losing our last shark. Rotate it. Let's go in through the hole here again. Up to the top. You can see these lights are just going literally everywhere here. It's pretty wild. You rotate this one. Goes through here. It's the wrong color. So we put the blue right here. Changes all the colors. And now, if we go down, that's pretty much it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Even when you know exactly what you need to do, it's a lot. Pass through light door. Brilliant stuff. Then we can see this pillar. Rotate it. Hit the final pillar. And open the door. And that is that. Up and down and all around, these colored lights do race. Now on the altar at the end, this crystal we can finally place. How do you get in here? Funny, I was just gonna ask you the same thing. Well, I asked first. Well, I battled my way through hordes of shadows whilst trying to solve a huge maze that had to bounce a light beam around. Now your turn. I came in through this hole in the back. You mean there is an easy way? Not easy as such. A few of the boys and me set up an outpost to the other end of the tunnel. The outpost is in the bottom of a huge cavern, deep underground, and the way to get there is through caves riddled with traps. Hang on, this sounds familiar. Is the name of one of your companions Clank? Yes, how did you know that? He's a friend of mine. He made me a great pair of gauntlets. Wait, you must be Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. Well, that's right. How'd you know that? Clank told me all about you. Told me how you got rid of that Ivan fellow. As it's you, I'll make you an offer. I'll trade you a death talisman. Great. Wait, what for? I just need a few things. Here, I'll make you a list. The dwarf writes on a scrap of paper and hands it to you. Right, I better get started. See you soon. Yeah. You can also get through here, through the underground pass. But actually you can't, because it's not open until you get to this section. But here is an item list. 50 items. All kinds of stuff. Just a wild collection of things. Bunch of stuff we could easily get from just shops and stuff than other things that are a little more awkward. Like, we need an archery ticket, the jail key, a crumbling tome, 10 potatoes, cooked meat, unicorn dust, baby dragon bones, specifically a bronze medium helmet, cheese. Just a ludicrous list of 50 different items, which sounds like a lot because it is. We destroy the crystal here. I'll go back there. So how many spaces do we have to work with here? We want to hold the list and all these items still. I guess we will also want more teleports to other locations, so I'll also limit us on the space we have. If we had 25 inventory spaces open, we could do this in 2 trips. With how many we have now, plus runes, might end up being 4 trips. Well, that's okay. One thing we definitely need to be aware of here, though, is making sure that we move the beam back. Technically, now we have 2 options for getting in here. We can either rotate it back this way to open this door. We can come through the Mourning HQ and the tunnels and the temple to get to here. Or if we put it that way, we can come through the underground pass. Honestly, I think coming through the temple is probably still quicker. So we're going to make sure we rotate the light back here for now. Later on, it'll probably be easier to come through the other way. But for right now, we just need to go get 50 items. And we might as well recharge our prayer. Shouldn't take too much damage running back through here each time, so that shouldn't be a concern. Let's go get the easiest things first. Let's go on a whole shopping spree. First trip. Vial of water, cooked meat, knife, rope, ball of wool, tinderbox, iron hatchet, hammer, shears, chisel, cake tin, needle, thread, necklace mold, leather boots, and a kebab. Now again, how are you getting all of those items we need? I got some of them with me. Great, can I take everything I need? Yeah, sure. Thanks, I've updated your list for you. Now we have less things on the list. Still a lot though. For how I'm getting back through this door that needs a key with this full inventory of stuff, they don't care if you're wielding other things once you're inside, so you just kind of do that. You can search the desk here, find a few copies of both the tarnished key and the new key, take a new key, go through the door, and then we can drop the key again, take off the mace, all works out. Yes, do not rotate the beam back. Alright, we're gonna go through the underground pass then. Luckily, we can go from the light side at least. So, yeah. Honestly, it would have been faster if we failed the agility checks up in the middle big cavern, fall down here. But here is the cave stairs to go from the underground pass to here. It's still a long trip. Second trip here. Bucket of milk, pot of flour, swamp paste specifically, oak logs, rope, potato cactus, spade, pie dish, pure essence, bronze medium helmet, bronze bar, face mask, red berries, gold ring, iron nails, leather gloves. Got some more items. Here you go. Take what you want. And it leaves us. Oh, we already had a rope before. Rip. Drop the nails. Drop the rope. Okay. And that leaves us with this many things. It's definitely getting lower. So that's great. Getting to the end of this list, getting more and more awkward things to get. Got a bunch of weird stuff here. Got cheese and a jug of wine from the Letya food shop. Then continued on to get a flax right near Letya. And a white berry out in the Elven Lands there. Got a skull from the wilderness. A lockpick from the Annual Agility Dungeon. Although we could have went to the Rogue's Den instead. How did we get a Pestle and mortar to grind a unicorn horn dust. Fill a sack with 10 potatoes. And now we are back here in the place we said we never need to go to again to get the jail key in the Taverley dungeon here. This is part of the last 3 items: a key, a tome, and a ticket. That can be one of 3 different things for each of those, which is something. There is the jail key. For the tome, we need to come all the way over here to Barrows and get the crumbling tome. At least we have the shortcut past the temple, and then the in search of the monarchy shortcut through the swamps. Unfortunately, a ghast still got us and destroyed our entire sack of potatoes, so we need to go get that again. Great. And the ticket that we needed was an archery ticket. So we're here at the Ranging Guild, doing the ranging stuff here. Oh, that works. And now, we have everything. Did need to drop some of the runes to make space, but totally worth it for getting this done in only 3 trips. That's just good planning is what that is. The last pile of things. Baby dragon bones, egg, fishing rod, lobster pot, white apron, 10 potatoes in a sack, jug of wine, cheese, flax, whiteberries, iron pickaxe, skull, rotten tomato, plank, lockpick, ground unicorn horn dust, the jail key, crumbling tome, and an archery ticket. Any of those items we need. What do you need all this stuff for? Oh, well, we don't get many deliveries down here, so it's supplies mostly. What about the archery ticket? Well, you see, we don't really get much chance to go out or anything, like some of the prizes someday. Why didn't you ask for the prizes then? Oh no, that'd just be sad. So he wants to eventually get some of the archery store rewards. That is interesting. What do you need a crumbling tome? Oh, just some light reading. It's nice to catch up on current events occasionally. Current events? But it's... oh, never mind. Yeah, the crumbling tome is about the Barrows brothers, and that is not current events at all. How long have they been down in this underground pass? How do you explain the jail key? I'm not sure how that got on the list. Can we have it anyway? Right. Why do I get the feeling I shouldn't? Pretty pleased with a blood talisman on top? Blood talisman? Oops, I meant death talisman. Yeah, he's giving us a death talisman. Blood talisman is later. Got some of the stuff. Can I have everything I need? Yeah, sure. Great. Thanks. Thank you so much for getting all that for us. Take this death talisman as a reward. Anytime you want another one of those talismans, come see me and I'll sort you out with another list. Please don't. Enter the Death Ruins with the Death Talisman. Here is a very spooky place. It's the Death Altar for Death Rune Crafting with the Death Talisman. This is the fancy altar they were trying to get to and protect, so they can make death runes. Potentially has other magical properties or something, because just being able to make some death runes is okay, I guess. Anyways, place the crystal on the altar. It starts to glow with a strange light. Now we have a newly made crystal with now extra shininess. Oh boy. Head out of here. Back to the place we got the crystal from in the first place. In the dark part. Die, shadow. Rotate the mirror. Through here. I guess now we need to decide if we want to keep it this way. Because we're going to be leaving now. I think the next time we need to get in here, we should have the mourner gear again. So it's probably fine. Worst case scenario, we just need to repair the mourner gear. Or we can just go through the death altar later. That's also an option. One or the other. One or the other. Let's put the newly made crystal in here with the other crystals. Make sure the shadows don't interrupt us here. Give them a good bonk. Special attack. There you go. Use the crystal. Place the power crystal amongst the other shards. It says nothing interesting happens, but we did it correct. Crystal seems to be intact and successfully powering the temple's safeguards. Beautiful. I think we're just gonna keep it like this. Just makes more sense narratively. No. Also don't need these archery tickets. Or this key. Activate. Back to Leia again. We did the thing. All of that just to get the crystal to the death altar and then back to that spot right there. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. I have at last repaired the safeguards on the temple. This is good news indeed, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. That should stop anyone from using the altar for another 1,000 years. Not quite. Seems some dwarves have broken in through the back of the temple. Some dwarves? That's what I found when I entered the altar room. Seems that a group of dwarves have set up an outpost in the underground pass and tunneled through to the back of the Temple of Light. This is interesting news. We are still safe for the time being. I doubt very much if any of the Death Guard would ever venture into the underground pass. Why is that? A great many of them died down there at one time, in a huge battle. Now they fear to enter. I will send an envoy down to speak with them, and make sure the temple is secure. Well done, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic. You have done well. All I can offer is this trinket. Should allow the bearer to pass the temple's front door. Rewards. 2 quest points, 20,000 agility XP. The crystal trinket allowing us access to the Temple of Light, now that has the safeguards up. Access to the Death Altar, and Dark Beasts. One thing to note here is Dark Beasts can also drop the Death Talisman. So if you have 90 Slayer, you can totally skip the entire list there. Wouldn't that be nice? And a little bit of agility XP, not enough for a level or anything. Crystal Trinket, we'll just have to get this back if we ever want to go back in the temple, which we really kind of don't right now. Later on we will. And the Death Talisman. As much work as we put in to get this, we don't currently need it. Nor can we even use it, because it's like 65 rune crafting, so drop that too. Later on we will need another Death Talisman. Probably going to need to do the list again, honestly. Well, that's alright. Probably also get rid of the Mourner gear here. Don't really need this. Still can't store it anywhere. Don't really want to run around looking like a Mourner right now. Not too necessary. And don't really need the teleport crystal. We're really slimming down here. Looking great. Still got the dragon mace though. That's going good. Should get us through the rest of the things we need before we need to get rid of it. But that is later. Before that, some more quests. Big shock. Next time. Goodbye.